Yep. No sleeping in around here. And a loud lawnmower whizzing by. Boom. One question I often ask people when I first meet them is, what is your greatest accomplishment in life? After the small talk, after I get through all the how's it going, where you from, all that little stuff that people do, I say, what is your greatest accomplishment in life? So you have an answer. My refrigerator went out. Gotta buy a new refrigerator. I brought exactly $351 cash. Really want a black or stainless steel refrigerator, to be honest. Black or stainless steel, bro. That would be much better for my my aesthetic look of my house for sure. Client's warehouse. Not that white is an 80s look. I'm just saying that it would not look good in my setup. Okay, 30 inches deep. Interesting. All right. That fly. This is a really nice one right here. $525 minus 20% plus tax plus delivery. Whirlpool, baby. I like this one. Being trained like in the Millionaire Mind seminar, the Millionaire Mind experience, which I've been trained in now. Yeah, I'm always conscious of being an excellent money manager and always, spending money on things that are going to make money. But looking at a refrigerator like this, like I end up spending more money eating out every day because I can't keep food cold in the refrigerator, so I have to eat out. Or so I end up spending more money anyways. It's not as good for my health, and I end up costing me more. Can't justify exactly why it would make sense to spend an extra $150 on this fridge just for the aesthetic appearance of it. That, I don't know. But I'll be happier. I won't look at an ugly, nasty fridge. Over won't be like, hey, that fridge is from the 1980s, dude. It's so ugly and used. Like, at least this one looks like it was new when I bought it. It wasn't from a garage sale. The extra $150 that I'd save would be a little bit. I have the embarrassment. I guess that's it. The embarrassment, but that's kind of a stupid reason. So my mentor is on a private yacht of a gentleman by the name of Rene Rifkin in the Sydney Harbor in Australia. And Rene Rifkin was one of the wealthiest men in Australia. I mean, he was incredibly wealthy. So he's on the yacht with him, on this private yacht in Sydney Harbor, and Rene Rifkin picks up the phone and he calls Robert Kiyosaki. Robert Kiyosaki was the guy that wrote that famous book, Rich Dad, Poor Dad. Well, a lot of you guys may know. And if you haven't read it, you got to go out and read it. Mentor Kevin is on. He says to him, he's like, Robert, what makes you successful, man? Why are you so successful? I read all your books. What is it? What's your secret to success, man? What is it? How do you do it? And he says, Kevin, to my mentor, he says, Kevin, you and I both know something that most other people don't, and we've accepted it. And he says, money is a renewable resource. Wealthy people like us know money is a renewable resource, okay? So yes, I always want to try to buy things, invest in things that are going to make you money in one way, shape, or form, but at the same time, understanding that money is a renewable resource. Done. Saturday at like 6 o'clock, the bank's going to be open. Rayleigh's. Refrigerator in today. One guy delivering it. Just one. I was thinking 3 for sure. It's only one. I was thinking for sure 3 guys. 3 guys would for sure come and deliver this thing. One strong guy as an ox just moves it out with the levy. Just one guy. Looks good. I'm excited. Ready to go. Client's warehouse. Very good. Definitely gonna help my digestion and help me during fasting. So if you're doing intermittent fasting, the apple cider vinegar is incredible. It's like essential, because I go through to dinner time, without eating. And so around like closer to dinner, my hunger starts to get insane. It starts to really pick up. So I just have that, I'm good. Now I'm gonna forget about food. Next 2 hours at least. So down here at the rec center pool in West Sacramento, I ran into some guys that were training for the military, and they were jumping into the pool with all their military equipment on. Check it out. Reminded me of a story and of an article that I wrote back in March called How to Conquer Fear. It was exactly of how to conquer fear of what these guys were doing. And it's a perfect little story, a little lesson to tie together here for anyone who's facing fear in any way, shape, or form. For me, my big fear was getting on camera. I didn't have the confidence to be on camera. I didn't even have the confidence to even put a picture on the internet. Mental infections are just like bodily infections. And people were not just born confident, okay? They're not just born that way. It's something that's developed and nurtured. In high school, a friend of mine, Dylan, were walking through the quad, and we ran into some really fine dressed sailors, white, beautiful, beautiful dressed sailors. And they were recruiting people for the military, for the Navy. And Dylan liked it and went ahead and enlisted. He enlisted in the Navy and came back and told me some of the stories as to what happened. Dylan said that when they went into the boot camp for the Navy, they wanted to make sure that everybody could swim. Because the idea is if you could swim, then potentially you may save another sailor's life at sea. Dylan would laugh and said that the terror on the men's faces as they're standing on the edge of the diving board, ready to jump in, and they hadn't swam before, was so real. And he laughed as it was talked about, but it was incredibly real at the moment. It took some of the older men to actually push them into the water to conquer their fear. And they get in there and start swimming, and then they do it again. A few dunks later, they overcame their fear. They overcame their fear by jumping in, really being pushed in. They were pushed in, and that's how they conquered their fear. I basically took the same approach. I conquered my fear by jumping in and getting on camera and starting. And when I first started, I didn't know what I was doing. And I was not confident, but it took time to develop, but I jumped in and I started. So the best way for anyone to conquer fear is by jumping in and doing it, just like these sailors would do. Just like this great shot that I had reminded me of this pool. So, take a lesson from me. Just start. Jump all in. Fear.
Peace and harmony. I'm not sure.
What is your greatest accomplishment in life?